start, isn't it, is to say hi. And, I looked this guy in the eye, directly in the eye, and I said, how are you? He said, I can't complain. Turns out he could. That's what it's like though, isn't it? You say, how are you? And there's only one correct answer to that, which is, I'm fine. Anyone says, I'm good, and I feel that's pushing it a little bit, isn't it? That's possibly a little bit too good, isn't it? And because I don't actually care, and I'm the leader of a large department, and they know it's my job to ask them, how are you? And they know that the obvious response is, I'm fine, so we can both go about our business, none the wiser, and equally happy. Because that's how it works. There's nothing worse when someone actually tells you how they are. It's like, well, I didn't actually want to know. And now you're draining the living daylights out of me. You know those kind of people who you stand next to them and you feel life being sucked out of you. You know those kind of people? A bit like the guy on stage right now. So that's kind of the impression I'm getting right now. But it's annoying. It's like, don't tell me how you are. I didn't add the word really onto that sentence, did I? I didn't say, how are you really? Because if I'd said that, then perhaps I might have feigned some level of interest in how you are. But I never said that. So stop it right now. Because none of us want to know. That's the reality of the situation. And if you tell me, you know and I know that we're going to go away and have a conversation with someone else and say to them, please don't talk to that miserable person. Because they will tell you how they are. And they say, I know, tell me about it. I think, well, no, because if I tell you about it, that's exactly what you don't want. You know that situation when you say, tell me about it, so you start telling them about it, turns out they don't want to know. It's a strange situation, isn't it? It's worse if they've been on holiday. If they go on holiday, even worse. You say, how was your holiday? It's a mistake. Never ask someone how their holiday is, because they will tell you. They flipping will tell you. They won't stop telling you. They'll continue to tell you. And then you have to feign some level of interest to make it look as if you're actually interested in their holiday when you're not. And it gets worse because they start showing you photos of said holiday, of places that you've either been to without them, which is better, or you didn't want to go to, which is why you don't want to see photos of this place. But they continue to show you the photos and you go, oh yeah, that's lovely, it's a mistake. Never say that. That's a mistake. They'll show you, oh, look at this next one. You think, oh, I don't want to look at that next one. You go, oh yeah, please show me the next one. Why don't we lie to ourselves? It's crazy. You think, no, if I was there, you wouldn't be looking at my photos because you wouldn't be there and I wouldn't be showing them to you because I don't want you to see where I'm going on holiday. Gets even worse though, doesn't it? It's not just holiday locations. Oh no, never ask someone how their kids are when they've just had a kid. Even worse if they're grandparents, because they will show you the flipping photos of their grandchildren, won't they? And you're supposed to go, oh, they're lovely. I don't even want to see photos of my own kids, let alone other people's kids. That's just a nightmare for anybody in any situation. But again, you feign it, then you go, oh, they're lovely. Am I the only one who thinks they're ugly? That's just my kids. It's shocking. It's terrible. Anyway, speaking of deep and meaningful conversations, you know those deep and meaningful conversations you have? You should have deep and meaningful conversations, shouldn't you? Preferably with your wife, if you have one. Obviously, if you're married to someone else, then don't have one with your wife, have one with the husband. I mean, that is kind of how that works. You don't have to have deep and meaningful conversations with your wife. You can actually have deep and meaningful conversations with other people. But I find that those deep and meaningful conversations are not interesting to these other people if they're about Lego or my children. A bit like the photographs, they're not interested. But my wife likes to have deep and meaningful conversations. She thinks they're very important. We need to discuss things, Anne. We need to discuss things. You're right, darling. We do need to discuss things. right before I'm about to go to sleep. It's when we need to discuss things, isn't it, darling? That is the time that we need to have that conversation. Right now, just as I'm about to go to sleep, and you're wondering why I'm not paying attention. And open your eyes, why are you going to sleep? Oh, darling, I'm very interested in what you've got to say about this very, very important matter that you're telling me about right now, because we need to have this discussion right now, just before I go to sleep, and I need to feign some level of interest. Look, the only other people who are interested in my kids are paid professionals like child psychologists. They're doing it because they're paid to pay attention when we're talking about our children. They have to feign interest. But me, I'm about to go to sleep. And yet, you feel this is the time to have a deep and meaningful conversation. How about when I was awake at 6 o'clock and I was sat there, just waiting, swiping on my phone? How about then? That would have been a good time. Oh no. That's not the only time she chooses. Believe me. Oh no, there's another time she chooses too. The other time is, I'll check, I will check, I'll always check, and then I'll go, right, there's no one here, I'm about to cook dinner, I'll put my headphones. And then my wife will come through and start a conversation. We need to have a deep and meaningful conversation about it. Sorry, I can't hear you, I've got my headphones. Well, you've always got your headphones in. It's like, well, I haven't actually, I've been waiting. So I immediately take them out and say, what would you like to discuss? And she says, nothing. Well, just a moment ago, you told me we needed to discuss something. Apparently not. So I put my headphones back in, and that is the time when she then engages me in conversation again. And then she says, I'm so ignorant. What is she talking about? There is one other time as well when she thinks it's necessary to have a deep and meaningful conversation. This is probably just me. Obviously it's not you. You guys always have good conversations at quality times when the best of you is coming out, just before you go into bed and when you've got your headphones in. The third time is, I will be reading a book. And she thinks, no, we need to have this conversation right now. I'm like, ooh, I would like to finish the chapter. She's like, no, you don't want to finish that chapter. You want to talk to me. I think, I don't. And that's the time she chooses to have that conversation. I get irritated and she looks at me. Oh, you're irritated now, aren't you? Yes, I am. I am irritated now. Because you're trying to have a conversation with me. All right, what's so important? And again she says, oh, nothing. So eventually I find a time, I think, okay, darling, what is it you want to talk about? She said, do you think we should get the children to feed the dog? That is important, especially as we don't have a dog. Anyway, she got upset with me the other day because I tried to have a conversation with her. She had her earbuds in, she was reading a book and she was trying to get to sleep. Fitted sheets, are they fit for purpose? You ever tried to fit a fitted sheet on a bed? Have you? It's not easy. First of all, we've got a queen-size bed. I mean, when you first get married, you're very happy, aren't you? You're happily married, you cuddle each other, it's nice, but eventually you're going to need that other arm for something useful, like tying your shoelaces. For the first year of marriage, I had to wear slip-ons, and I'm no fashion guru. But eventually you want your room, and you go, oh, you know what, double bed, not big enough, is it? You know what we need? We need a queen size. Oh, queen size, not big enough. Oh, we need a king size. Well, you know what, king size, oh, not big enough. So you know what we need? We need a double king size. There's more bed than room. And I still have to orchestrate an argument just so I can sleep on the couch. And people say to me, Ant, you don't have to orchestrate an argument to sleep on the couch. It's not as much fun though, is it? And my wife gets irritated with me anyway, and there I was fitting a fitted sheet, and I was trying, it was like widthways, and it wasn't fitting, it was like lengthways. You always get it the wrong way, don't you? Did you notice that? And then you get on, and you get onto that fourth corner, don't you? It's that fourth corner that's the problem. The fourth corner is the problem. It's like broken fingernail. And eventually you get it on. The annoying thing is, you should wash those sheets, you know, the young couple there, once a week. None of this every 2 weeks. Not this once a month. What's going on with some people? Once a month, sometimes 6 a month. That's crazy, right? Once a week. You wash the sheets, right? You put them on the line. There's no corners to this darn thing, is there? You're trying to put the corners on, you wrap it around, you start, oh, throw it on the line. And then it dries, and you put it back, and again, no corners. How do you fold the darn thing up? And if it's wet, you put it in the tumble dryer, rookie error, isn't it? Because all the elastic breaks, no longer a fitted sheet. So it was, fitting on this fitted sheet, put it on, 3 corners on. My wife came in and just watched. Stood there and just watched. Eventually I got it on. The mattress went like that, and she said, "Ant, why are you trying to fit a double sheet on a king-size bed?" Thanks very much. I've been at Mexi's.